Hello dear children, in this video let us understand the 10th standard poem Grandma Climbs a Tree, written by Ruskin Bond. If you have a English textbook with you, please open the page number 18 to 20. Children, you can see funny works of grandmas in this picture. You might have noticed some childish habits and desires in your grannies also. Some of the activities old mothers, old grannies practice are playing with marbles, flying kites, riding a bike, etc. Here in the picture you can see old granny is climbing a mountain, and you can see the lady there, old lady on the rock and exercising over the branches and cycling, riding a cycle. So these are the funny activities of some of the grannies. Children, let us go through the first stanza of the poem. If you have a textbook, open it. Page number 19. Let us read it. My grandmother was a genius. You would like to know why? Because she could climb trees spreading or high. She would be up their branches in a trice. And mind you, when last she climbed a tree, she was 62. Ever since childhood, she would had this gift for being happier in a tree than in a lift. So here the meaning of the word genius means usually clever, brilliant old lady. In a trice means very quickly. She is to climb the trees very quickly at the age of 62. So the summary of the poem, here the poet Ruskin Bond says his grandmother was genius, as she could climb the trees which only a few can do with ease. She could climb trees which were very big, spreaded or high. She would climb them in a thrice. In a thrice, I said very quickly. ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ತೆರೆಯುವಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. And the poet tells us that the last time she climbed was at the age of 62, and she had climbing trees from her childhood, and it was a natural talent to her which she had. Climbing trees made her more happier than climbing buildings in a lift. Now let us read the second stanza. And though as years went by, she would be told that climbing trees should stop when one grew old, and that growing old should be gone about gracefully. She would laugh and say, well, I'll grow disgracefully. I can do it better, and we had to agree. For in all the garden there wasn't a tree. The meaning of gracefully is elegant, with all good manners, we can say. Graceful antonym or opposite is disgraceful. Agree, disagree. So here the poet Ruskin Bond says about his granny, he says, as year went by, she was advised not to climb trees. She was told to become old gracefully with good manners, but she would laugh it off and say that she would grow old disgracefully, and that she would do it in a better way, and the family had to agree that there was not a tree in the garden that she had not climbed. Now the third stanza, she hadn't been up at one time or another. having learned to climb from a loving brother when she was 6. But it was feared by all that one day she would have a terrible fall. The outcome was different while we were in town. She climbed a tree and couldn't come down. Here, the new word outcome means what actually happened. Result, we can say. The summary of this stanza: the poet's grandmother had learned climbing trees from a loving brother when she was only 6 years old. But everybody feared that once she would have a terrible fall. But nothing like that ever happened. Once, when the family was in the town, the grandmother had climbed the tree and could not come down. Later, she was rescued and brought down. After the rescue, the doctor took Granny's temperature and said, "I strongly recommend a quiet week in bed." We sighed with relief and tucked her up well. Poor Granny, for her it was like a brief season in hell, confined to a bedroom while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves. Here, rescue means release or save someone from danger. Sight means draw deep breath of relief. The explanation of this stanza: the doctor came and checked her temperature. He recommended or advised her a quiet week in bed. That means 1 week rest. Everyone sighed means breathed in relief that for a week Granny would not climb trees and did not allow her to get up from the bed. Means tucked her in bed. The poet describes how the grandmother felt when she was forced to stay in bed. It was as if she was in hell, and she longed to go out and enjoy the breeze that whispered of summer and dancing leaves. And the fifth stanza: but she had held her peace till she felt stronger. Then she sat up and said, "I'll lie here no longer." And she called for my father and told him, undaunted, that a house in a treetop was that she now wanted. My dad knew his duties. He said, "That's all right. You will have what you want, dear. I'll start work tonight." Here the meaning of undaunted is without hesitation. Hold one's peace means keep quiet. Opposite of daunted, undaunted. Summary: grandmother very patiently stayed confined till she was healthy. Then she sat up and said that she would not keep lying down any longer, and called the poet's father. She told him without hesitation that she wanted a house to be built on a tree and would lie there only. He, poet's father, Ruskin Bond's father, was a dutiful son, and he promised her that she will have what she wanted, and the son, he began the work that night itself. Now the last stanza of the poem: with my expert assistance, he soon finished the core, made her a tree house with windows and a door. So Granny moved up and now every day I climb to her room with glasses and tray. She sits there in a state and drinks sherry with me, upholding her right to reside in a tree. Here, core means task. Sherry, yellow or brown colored wine. Upholding, making clear to the world. The explanation of this stanza: the poet helped his father with his expert help. They very soon made a tree house. They made a tree house with windows and a door for his grandmother. The poet's grandmother moved to the tree, and every day the poet climbed up to the tree with glasses and tray and drank sherry wine with her. In this way, grandmother had upheld her right to reside in a tree, which gave her the true happiness. So, children, I hope you understood the summary of the poem. Now, let us learn some of the grammar part from this poem. In the poem, we come across the rhyme scheme. When we pronounce the rhyming words, they end with the same sound. We can find the rhyming words at the end of each line of the poem. Here in the poem, the rhyme scheme is in the form of couplet. Look at the page number 18 in your English textbook. Every stanza has 6 lines and it is in the form of couplet pattern, AA, BB and CC pattern. Same way, in the second stanza till the last stanza, you find this form. Now look at the last word in the first and second line. First line, why, high, and then it goes on the last word, gift, lift, gracefully, disgracefully, another brother, town, down, well, hell, stronger, longer, right, tonight, day, tray, you, too, told, old, agree, tree, all, fall, said, bed, breeze, leaves, undaunted, wanted, core, door, me, tree. These rhyming words gives beautiful meaning to the poem. I hope you understood it. The other part of the grammar that beautifies this poem is figures of speech. In Kannada we say alankaragalu. These figures of speech gives attractive and meaningful approach to the reader. In this poem, we find two kinds of figures of speech. One is simile, other one is personification. Then, what is a simile? So here the meaning, simile is a direct comparison between two things, places or persons using the words like or as. It is a direct comparison of two things using the word like or as. Here there are examples of simile. So first sentence there is as slow as tortoise. In the picture you can see the boy is compared to a tortoise which walks very slowly. So next example, the flower is as white as snow. Flower is compared to snow. It is white as snow. And then the flower is white like snow. So like is used when the words as and like come in the sentence, then that sentence is simile. So now you have to identify the line in the poem where simile is used. Open your textbook page number 19 and identify the line in the poem where simile is used. Can you find? I'll give a clue. Find in the fourth stanza whether you'll get a line or a sentence. You just say. Yes, here we got. Poor granny, for her it was like a brief season in hell. So here, poor granny for her, it means 1 week rest was like a brief season as if though she is in the hell. So poor granny was feeling that she was in the hell when she was sleeping on the bed for a week. The next figures of speech is personification. What is personification, children? When a non-living thing is raised to the position of a person, then it is called as personification. So, a figure of speech which gives the qualities of a person to an animal or an object or an idea. So, here there is an example. The wind yells through the trees. So, the wind cannot yell. Yell means what here? A loud cry of pain. So, only a living thing can yell, means cry out. The wind cannot cry, isn't it? So other example, the sun is smiling at us. Who is smiling? We people smile. The sun doesn't smile. It is compared to a position of a person as if the person is smiling. So then it is personification. The trees are calling me. The trees are attracting me. Means who attracts or calls us? People. We do that work. So here that trees are compared to a position of a person. Then it is personification. So here now we have to identify the sentence where personification is used in the poem. Did you get it, children? Yes, I'll give a clue. Again, you can find the personification in stanza 4. Did you get it, children? Yes, children. The sentence is, while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves. This sentence says us breeze whispers. Actually, who will whisper? Man, we people. Whisper means speak very softly. Breeze is raised to the position of a person. Now, the sentence says breeze whispered. So, only we can whisper. And the next words are dancing leaves. Whether the leaves can dance? No. The sentence says leaves are dancing. Dancing we people do. So, while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves, this sentence is a example for personification. Children, I hope you understood the figures of speech, simile and personification. Let us learn about the poet Ruskin Bond. He was born in Kausali in the year 1934. Now he lives in Missouri. His first novel was The Room on the Roof. He wrote more than 30 books only for children. Grandma Climbs a Tree shows Bond's great ability to enjoy unusual events, activities, and actions. His autobiography, that is, Scenes from a Writer's Life. And Ruskin Bond also talks about his Calcutta granny as a strange person who sat alone in the evening to play a card game and playing patience. So in this poem, we found that his granny was a strange person. So this Ruskin Bond was awarded Sahitya Academy Award for his novel, that is, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He also secured Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan awards for his notable works. Those are A Flight of Pigeons and The Blue Umbrella. So I hope you enjoyed this poem written by Ruskin Bond. In the next class, I will be sending you the question answers of this poem. Thank you, dear children. Take care.